minds, because material passports is a new concept, and we want to do something theoretical first to understand the future of this work. So these are some of the contents of my presentation. As we all know, circular economy is to reuse, recycle, and reduce the waste of construction industry. And recently, material passports and product passports have been introduced as a digital records of materials and products within a building, so that they can be reused or recycled after the demolition. So European Union has been working in advocating circular economy and material passports for passing regulations to adopt material passport in the industry. Our role as a researcher would be to explore further possibilities that come with material passports and product passports. So one of the idea is to explore that if we can assess the circularity indicators that are in the theoretical and industry part, if they can be assessed during using material passports, and what could be the data within the circularity indicators. So circularity indicators are basically the quantitative or qualitative factors or variables that can, access or give us a metric for assessing material circularity. And of course, if we, like European Union is working on it, if we have any standard templates for assessment of circularity in a building using material passports, so that could be one of the application of this research. So my framework is quite simple. I have explored the research article using keywords like circularity indicators, and I have tried to study them and their data requirements, and also I have found literature on material passports and what data they can provide for us. I have the content analysis that I have already discussed, and finally I have made a compatibility analysis on how much material passports are able to assess or provide data for the circularity indicators. So these are some of the indicators that I've identified and categorized in 3 categories. Like there are base indicators that are basically based on quantitative or mass-based factors. MCI is basically requires the fractions or percentages of the recoverable materials within the building demolition part. And also there are some derived indicators that are improvements to the previous base indicators, and they improve upon this by including other disassembly or connection type of factors. Also LCA and cradle to cradle factors have also been included in these derived indicators. And lastly, I have some independent indicators that are not derived from the base indicators. They advocate that circular economy should be based on economical values of materials and products. So they are basically based on the economic values of the materials that we get from a building after the demolition. So these are the requirements I have identified within the circularity indicators that are categorized into 5 kinds. So the quantities are the fractions in weight, mass, or volume, and then disassembly factors, cost-related factors, life cycle information, and data availabilities. And material passport is one of them in some of the indicators. So the data resources that I found within the articles are much more than these, but these are the basic data providers of material passport that I have identified. Like this is an example of maintenance, renovation, and demolition part of a material passport provided, taken from a review paper. And we have a lot of architects, consultant, engineers, even maintenance contractors and reuse companies that provide us those data that we can use within the circularity indicator assessment. So these are example of the global or local databases that material passport can digitally extract it from their databases to assess circularity indicators. And lastly, but the most applicable are the digital technologies and softwares that are present in the literature, and everybody has worked on it. Blockchain and BIM are the most compatible softwares that have been used in the literature for providing data to the passports. And I've also seen RFIDs, digital twins, and GIS-based material passports. So this is the final compatibility metric that you can see that is against the required parameters of indicators and the material passport data. Blue ones are the quantitative values that are embedded within the material passport literature. I found this that it is easy to collect them. The green check mark shows that they are already embedded within material passports, but the red mark represents that they can be collected using external databases that I've just discussed in the previous slide. There are some fuzzy values, like there is a type of connection that is accessible, so it would be given a value of 0 to 4, and if it's not that accessible, so it would be given a value of lesser than 4 or 0. So that are some fixed values, and I've only found 2 of the requirements that are not present within material passport. That is a fraction of additional mass material that is required during the operation and maintenance phases of buildings, and also a cost related factor, that is the cost of reproducing material from or a product from a recovered material. Other than that, I found it very feasible that the material passport could assess circularity indicators, and in future they can be very helpful to digitally assess a building or a building material or a component if we have any standardized templates for product passport, and we can easily incorporate other softwares and digital technologies within them. So that would be all from my side. If you have any questions regarding this boring presentation, I'm here.